What is up, everyone? What is up, hooligans? Happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. I appreciate all of you guys being here. We're going to read through the schedule really quick, and then we're going to go ahead and get her started. So today's a weird one, because today's a special day. I'm sure you guys know, because for the last, 20 years or something, it's always been never forget. Well, we can't talk about that stuff on YouTube. I don't know if you've noticed, but any video talking about what today is has a giant blue banner across it, which means that if I talk about it, I'm going to catch a strike and a suspension. And we're not going to do that. So the majority of the show is going to be off of YouTube today. So be prepared to leave the communist platform. I know it's hard for some of you, and I don't know why, but be prepared to leave CommieTube. Let me assist you. There you go. Ciao. Might as well just move over right now. No need to stay over on the communist platform. There you go. So I'll be starting off today with a video titled, "Why Don't Young Americans Feel Like Working?" I believe it's the guy from Dirty Jobs, Mike somebody. We've covered a couple videos including him, but we're going to talk about why young people don't want to work and all that kind of stuff. Then we have a video titled, "Old Man Walter is Violating the Law," talking about how they are trying to do the catch and release program with the border crossers, but when they release them, they will be stuck to Texas. They will not be able to leave Texas. So they're going to come across that border illegally, and then they'll just be stranded within the walls of Texas, which I guess is illegal. So, I mean, it's just more illegal activity on top of already illegal activity. So, I mean, that's something. Then we're going to cover a very short portion of a video where Old Man Walter got his mic cut off. He was in Vietnam speaking yesterday, I believe it was, and he got off track, and they were trying to get him back on track, and he just started rumbling and rambling on, and eventually they just were like, "All right, everyone, it's all over," and then cut his mic off while he was stammering into the mic. He's not in control of anything. He actually mutters, "Let me check my orders really quick," as he flips through the pages of his book sitting on the podium of lies. And then the last video we're going to show on YouTube is titled, "Meta Developing New, More Powerful AI System." Nobody likes Facebook. But I think they're going to like it even less once they're being controlled by AI. Facebook is heavily censored, and if anything bad happens to your Facebook account, it is a nightmare to try and talk to customer service. Even if you have a business account, even if you run ads, or you run a page, or any of this stuff that requires more than just the average Facebook account, they don't care. They don't care what'll happen to you. And so now, if you can reach customer service, after the AI is implemented, it won't even be a person you're talking to. You'll be talking to a robot, and everybody knows how great that is. Then we have a couple of videos that we're going to show off of YouTube. One having the Orange Eagle giving us his description of what today means. And then we will be wrapping things up with a video including Peter Ducey, who was out there in Vietnam while Old Man Walter was making a fool of himself. It's going to play a couple highlights from what happened that day, and then Peter's going to give us a summary of how he thinks things are going between China, Old Man Walter, and Vietnam. So that's what's on the menu today. Let me read through the chat really quick, make sure everything is running smoothly, and then we'll go ahead and get her started. Well, it looks like everything's good on the website. What's up here, Juicer? What's up, Annette? Happy Freedom. Appreciate you guys being here. I might have something special for you hooligans over on the website. Let me see if it's working right now. If it is, I'm going to drop a link to you guys over on the website, and you can go check out the new chat system. It's kind of there. I don't know. I'll drop it to you guys and you guys can figure it out. It's messy because it's not ready for commercial release yet. But if you guys would like to check out what the new chat's going to be like, you should be able to check it by that link. I know you can't click it because it's weird over there in that first chat, but go check out the new chat that I'm working on if you would like over on the website. What's up, everyone over on Rumble? Make sure you guys hit that like button. What is happening here? Make sure you guys hit that like button. Get us on the front page over on Rumble. We can do it. What's up, Matthew? What's up, Snooks? What's up, Kevin? What's up, Schulers? What's up, Ghostly? What's up, Old BR? What's up, RK? What's up, Undercrofter? Appreciate all of you hooligans being here. Happy Freedom. What's up, Elisa? What's up, Screaming Eagle? What's up, Kevin? What's up, Tam Tam? Appreciate all of you hooligans. Thank you guys for being here. We're going to have some new shirts and stuff coming out soon. I've been working with OG. He's got all kinds of ideas of new designs coming out, and I think they're going to be awesome. He's the one that designed the Screaming Goat t-shirt. He's been sending me all kinds of samples and stuff. We got great things on the way. He's in the oven. Why is every platform talking when I'm talking? Just chill out, okay? We only need one host here. What's up, everyone over on Kick? What's up, DeRosa? Happy Freedom. DeRosa! Thank you so much, DeRosa, for joining the membership program over on Kick, and welcome to the family. You're officially a hooligan. Now, I appreciate you, DeRosa. You're awesome. Thank you. Holy crap, we got 8 people watching on Kick. Breaking records over here. We got more people on Kick than on Twitch. It's a good day today. Appreciate you, hooligans. What's up, everyone over on Twitch? What's up, Grey Wolf? What's up, Tom Tom? Happy Freedom. Let's see. Tom Tom, yes. That would be awesome. I would love that. Send me an email and I'll send you the address. My P.O. box just expired, so I got to go and figure all that out. But send me an email or get a hold of me on, one of the platforms or whatever. We'll work it out. That would be really awesome. What's up, everyone over on GoofTube? Might as well just make your way over to Rumble or jeffmaclive.com. Oh, you're welcome to try the other programs, the other platforms, rather. Appreciate all of you guys being here. So we're going to get started with this first video titled, Why Don't Young Americans Feel Like Working? First, I want to remind you guys, go get you a Free the Orange Eagle t-shirt. We also have blacked out coffee mugs and hoodies and all kinds of stuff. You can check that out, or if that design isn't pleasing you, you can go get you the Screaming Goat. Like I said, that design was made by OG, and he's working on some new designs for us. I am pretty excited about it. I'll drop the link for the merch store, whatever, while you guys are watching this video. Let's get her started.
Where an exodus of residents and businesses continue to haunt the city. Things have gone from bad to worse in the Bay, but liberal politicians still think their policies are the solution. Former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, announcing that she'll run for re-election once again. She'll be 84 years old on Election Day next year and must seem to think another term of her left-wing agenda is what her constituents need. But that's not how the local businesses seem to feel. Watch.
I mean, I worked so hard to get to San Francisco. It was like a dream city. Like 10 years ago, this place was amazing. But as you asked me that question, I am kind of right there. I am kind of ready to move on, maybe. We have to spend out-of-pocket money to take care of the stuff that I shouldn't have to worry about.
I decided to close my restaurant about 2 months ago. We were going to do it till about December, but it decided tomorrow's going to be our last day. I'm fed up with everything that's going on.
Joining us now, former San Francisco resident and CEO of the Mike Rowe Works Foundation, the man himself, Mike Rowe. Mike, what's going on? You decided to leave. It looks like they want Nancy to stay in office. Is she serving the people of San Francisco the right way?
Dude, I don't know what to tell you. I grew up in Baltimore, right? Another sanctuary city by another bay with a very similar list of problems. I came out here 20 years ago. I had a modest office over there. I closed it before the lockdowns, and I still live in the Bay Area. But no, I don't live in the city anymore, and it breaks my heart because the guy you were just talking to made a terrific point. You know, it was a terrific town, and now they're actually giving guided tours of Skid Row. People are paying money to tourists are being shown that. What the hell? I mean, because people don't believe it, man. Right. I mean, you see it. It's one thing to see it on television. It's another thing to start leapfrogging and stepping over humanity on your way to the store, on your way to hail an Uber. It's just you can read about it and you can look at it on the TV, but until you really walk through the middle of it and drink it in and smell, the chickens don't really come home to roost until you do that.
Yeah, it's so true. You know, we had that business owner there talking about what he would do if things didn't change, and spoke to that guy about a couple months ago, and he closed his business. A successful business, was doing well, but he couldn't keep paying for the repairs, and it just seems like none of the leaders care. Mike, I want to talk about another issue that's close to your heart, close to mine, is this national work shortage. I mean, you got a foundation that values work, that talks about doing these jobs that people don't think is sexy, but are part of the American experience. Why do you think people don't feel like working anymore? And it seems to be the younger generation.
Look, I mean, there are a lot of big books out there written by PhDs and experts with lots of initials after their name. My favorite one is called Men Without Work by Nick Eberstadt, and he makes a really compelling argument to try and explain why 7.2 million able-bodied men in the prime working years of their life are not only not working, but affirmatively not looking for work. It's a giant topic, and it's a macro topic. My foundation is a micro foundation. It's MicroWorks. We've helped 2,000 people in the last 15 years, just turned 15 this Labor Day.
Wow.
And we award work ethic scholarships to people who want to, A, learn a skill that's in demand, and B, demonstrate the kind of work ethic I think we all admire and that we're all looking for. And so we've had real success. You know, I'm not going to take a victory lap, but we've given away about $8 million in these scholarships. I have another $1 million available right now at microworks.org. Anybody's welcome to apply. All I ask is that when you start to weld, or if you get your plumbing certificate, or if you become an electrician, talk to me in a few years. Tell me your story, because those stories, Lawrence, are as hopeful as the last story was depressing. I don't want to paint with too broad a brush, right? I don't want to just write off Baltimore and San Francisco because there's some terrible parts.
That's right.
We do that with people. We do that with cities. We do that with work. We shouldn't. But there's always more to the story than you think. And the story right now is there is massive opportunity available to anybody who wants to learn a skill that's in demand.
Yeah. And you know, I'm so sick of the big ideas. It's the ideas like yours that impact real people, that gives them a hand up. You know, I love it. I love it. Mike, thanks so much for giving me some time tonight.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to
Well, Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs. Every time we show him, he's pretty much covering that topic. We talked about it a few days ago. I think it's a couple reasons why people aren't working. I think it's a variety of reasons. I think young people don't have enough discipline. They don't know anything. They've been activists for the last 3 years. They don't know what it's like to be responsible for things, whatnot. Half the people are homeless. So then, you know, why are you going to work? You work when you're homeless. When I was homeless, I had a job. And I had everything I needed except for a place to live. And it's really demotivating to try and go to work when you don't even have anything to show for it, which is kind of the other side of the coin. If you're not making enough money because of the plague, when the plague happened, McDonald's decided to start paying their workers $15 an hour and stuff like that. I was working in a factory making $15 an hour, working my ass off. And all of us would sit there and complain and threaten our managers and stuff. Hey, you keep pushing us. We're going to go to McDonald's. We're going to go up the street to McDonald's. We'll just go there and work. We'll make the same amount of money, and we won't have you guys putting our lives in danger, because factory work is hard. Construction work is hard. Those kind of jobs are hard. McDonald's ain't hard. You just smell bad when you leave. So I think there's multiple battles going on here. I think young people aren't disciplined. I don't think they're motivated. I don't think older people make enough money for most of their jobs. So if you need a certain amount of money, so you need to make $20 an hour, you live in a small town like I do, no one's offering $20 an hour, you're just trying to figure out alternatives at that point. Because when you're not making enough and you're spending all your time at work just to not making enough, you're not giving yourself enough opportunity to find what you need. So I think it's a struggle, and I think everybody in the country is struggling right now. I don't think anybody's doing real great except for the politicians. I think those are the only people who are doing well. We're going to read through the chat really quick before moving forward. The next video that we're covering is titled, "Old Man Walter is Violating the Law," talking about how border crossers are going to be stuck in Texas. Not good. Not good for the people in Texas. Not good for us as a country. And too many government subsidies. Yeah. Yep. That's true. That's the problem where I live, is anywhere that's a rental is subsidized housing. So if you make more than $40,000 a year, you'll get evicted. If you make less than $20,000 a year, you can't even apply. You don't qualify to even live here. So unless you're on Section 8, and they love if you're on Section 8, because that means that check's coming every month directly from the government. And then the people who own the property, they get all kinds of benefits for every kind of person that comes in here and can't afford rent. They get grants and stuff from the government. And all them slumlords love that. They love that government money. And then you also got people who are just welfare rats. I don't know what else to call them. That's what they are. They're just scamming the system, abusing it. Some people need help. The people I'm talking about don't. They would rather fill out paperwork at DHS and get food stamps when they could go to work. And it hurts the system, and they're not contributing to their society or the country. They're just getting free money and being lowlifes. And I'm not talking about everybody needs help. I'm talking about people who don't need help, who are scamming the system and stuff like that. What's up, Cassandra? Happy freedom. I really appreciate you, Cassandra. Thank you so much for all this support. You're so awesome. I really, really appreciate it. Let's see. Skybear. So what if we do what they do? Ignore and eliminate. They'll probably put us in martial law. They won't like that. They like to treat us a certain way. If we started treating them that way, they'd be like, huh, no way. They like to throw the snowballs, but they can't get hit with a snowball. That's what I used to say to my sister all the time. Because she would hit me with a snowball, and I'd hit her back, and then I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy. I hope Echo's watching right now. Yeah, I don't know. We're in a dilemma here in America. Everything costs too much. Jobs don't pay enough. Depends where you live. Each state is different. DeRosa smelling them freedom fries. Yeah, I don't think you smell like freedom fries when you leave McDonald's, though. You know, you've been sweating for 12 hours in a little greasy kitchen with a bunch of ignorant teenagers that don't know anything. I don't know. Probably not like freedom fries when you leave. But I mean, for $15 an hour, I've never made more than $15 an hour. So there's always that. I could always go wash dishes at McDonald's. And then I keep telling you guys, Taco Bell will pay you today. You go work at Taco Bell, they will pay you today. They're contracting people out. They're hurting for people so bad. They're like, text this number, we'll get you in here today. You work 6 hours, we'll pay you for 6 hours when you leave. You'll get paid today. It's like, God, you got to be hurting for workers if that's happening. Christine, giving Texas back to Mexico? That's what it sounds like. We're going to be covering that here in a second. And it was shown on the news sometime back where one family, 5 generations on welfare in Chicago. Oh, yeah. I guarantee it. I think that stuff is really common. There's lots of people that I know that have been on food stamps since they were old enough to drive a car. And like now they're in their 30s, you know, halfway to 40, and they're still on food stamps. They've never earned enough money. And it's not because they can't earn enough money. It's because it's easier for them to fill out paperwork than to clock into a job every day. I don't know. Tis what it is. What's up, Chrissy Star? What's up, JT3? Happy freedom. Appreciate you guys joining us. We're going to move forward to this next video. Old man Walter violating the law. Now he's trying to destroy Texas. I don't know. I think he's just been out of shape about Abbott. Abbott put that buoy system up or whatever, letting you know which side's the deep end of the river there, or whatever it is, the canal between us and Mexico. They're suing Texas. The federal government is suing Texas for that buoy system that they put up so border crossers would stop coming across the Rio Grande. And they're demanding that they remove the buoy system. And now they're going to make it so anybody who does cross is limited to Texas. You're just stuck in Texas. It sounds like the federal government's getting pissy with Abbott, but we'll see. Let's get this started.
Guests blasting the hypocrisy of that move. Brandon Judd is the president of the National Border Patrol Council, and he joins us now. Brandon, what exactly is going on here?
Sandra, we just don't know what's up from down anymore. You hear this administration's claiming that Abbott's buoys are against the law, yet he turns right back around in the very next breath and he says that he's going to force people to stay in Texas. People that have been released, once they are released, they have the right to travel throughout the United States. As much as I hate this, as much as I hate the catch and release, I also recognize what the laws are. And the laws are, if this administration chooses to release these people, they are free to travel, so he can't force them to stay in Texas. That's against the law. So in one breath, he says that Texas is violating the law, and then he's going to turn around and he's going to do the exact same thing. And let's be clear, those buoys right there, what really frustrates every single one of us is those buoys have been so effective. It has been effective in saving lives. People aren't crossing the border illegally in those places anymore. Those are very dangerous places to cross. We know that this administration has caused more deaths than any other administration in the past, and yet they're going to pull away something that is going to actually save lives of illegal migrants, and it's also going to save lives of people that are going into the first responders like us Border Patrol agents that are going into the river to help those individuals. It is monstrous what this administration continues to do. It is pure hypocrisy, and it's nothing but politics.
For what reason, then, is it that some of these critics are saying these buoys, these barriers, they're not working?
Well, they want open borders. That's what this administration's base wants. That's what this administration continues to do. They continue to play politics. They say one thing without backing up anything with facts or with actual action. But if you look at their action is what is causing these people to cross their borders illegally. It's the catch and release. It's that magnet. People being released in the United States is going to continue to cause people to cross our borders illegally. I say watch the actions. Don't listen to the rhetoric. And look at the facts. Look at the evidence.
And we're watching the numbers. They're on the screen right now. Fiscal year to date, 2023, you have a number of border encounters reaching 2 million. At this point, we're past where we were same time last year. And last year, we know the situation was already getting pretty bad. So, Brandon, all signs are pointing that this is a worsening situation. So, the New York City mayor called Governor Abbott of Texas a madman for busing those migrants to New York City. Of course, a lot are saying, well, you've declared sanctuary city status. You're not taking issue with what is happening for Texas and those border communities. Well, here, this is what we're dealing with. Now, in New York City, we have streets that look like this. There are migrants lining up around the corner, sleeping on the sidewalks. You heard a lot of passion from the New York City mayor. I wonder if you believe that will lead to any change. He's calling out the Biden administration for not stepping in to help more. The number of migrants arriving here in New York City since April 2022, that number is now topping 110,000, Brandon. That's 10,000 migrants in the city a month. I mean, they're canceling soccer fields. They're putting the migrants in hotels here. It's costing a ton of money. And now those kids are showing up at the public schools.
Sandra, I wish it would lead to change, but it only leads to change if he's actually going to tell the public the truth. When he claims that Governor Abbott is a madman, he's not pointing the finger at the NGOs. These NGOs that are busing more people to the state of New York. He's not talking about what happens behind, in the cover of night when all these flights went into New York City. He's not talking about what is actually happening. He's only pointing the finger at Republicans instead of talking about what really needs to happen. And what has to happen is we have to secure the border. We have to get rid of these policies. If we got rid of these policies, New York wouldn't have to deal with this. Los Angeles wouldn't have to deal with it. Texas wouldn't have to deal with it. My home state of Arizona wouldn't have to deal with it. All we have to do is secure the border, and all that takes is policy. It doesn't take money. It takes policy, and this administration has the authority to do it.
We know that the resources in these areas where they are taking in these migrants like New York, the resources are drying up, and they've got to do something about it. So we'll see where it all goes. Brandon, always appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to...
Old man Walter doesn't want to fix things. How do you think he's getting all those missing children into his basement? That's why he doesn't like Abbott, because Abbott's trying to prevent the flow of unknowns entering the country. 2 million a year. 2 million strangers are entering the country every year for the last 2 years. And, God only knows what's before that. So, if a military showed up, if China pulled up on the shore, does that mean that we're going to let 4 million Chinese soldiers come into town before we start thinking about it, start considering things, wondering if we're all going to be okay? Because there's nothing saying that that's not what's happening. I mean, we are being invaded. It's 4 million strangers show up and just walk right into the country. You can't say we're not being invaded. There's no way. Your head's too far in the sand if you're thinking thoughts like that. Makes no sense, and it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. Who knows? Maybe they're sleepers. You guys remember back years on this day, and they were worried about sleepers? They were worried about ISIS coming across the border. They were worried about terrorist organizations being in the country, and then one day they would just activate and bad things would happen. Do they not worry about that anymore? Just letting all these strangers come in? And then every man and child or woman and child that comes in gets $2,200 check every month. Thanks for being here. Meanwhile, we got homeless Americans, we got homeless veterans. Mental health is everywhere. I think all of us got a little bit of that mental health problem. Nope, government doesn't care about us. I think they're bringing those people in, 1, to keep their children, and 2, to replace us. Every one of us that bitches about being here, or we don't like the way we're being treated by the government, they'll just take us out in the middle of the night and replace us with somebody who ain't even from here. It's no good. We're going to read through the chat really quick before we move forward. The next video is titled, Old Man Walter Gets the Mic Cut Off in Vietnam. It's actually his whole press briefing thing, but we're only going to watch like the last minute of it. And call the National Guard at the border, stop them before they get in. I think Abbott does have National Guard on the border. I'm trying to think. So does South Dakota. The governor, I think her name's Christie. She was talking about it during the Trump rally. She sent National Guard down to the border too. But they can only do what they're told. And a lot of people calling the shots, they want those people to come in. They want those unknowns crossing that invisible line. And it's not Old Man Walter, he's the puppet. It's who's pulling the strings who are doing this. Old Man Walter's brain dead. Yeah. Yep. And I think it would be more obvious if we had a way to do impeachment ourselves. If we could all sign a petition and have him pulled out of power, I think the show would still go on. And that would be a huge tell that he's not actually any more than the mouthpiece. He's just the guy that comes out and smiles and waves at us while things are running in the background. Matt, on Anthony's live stream the other night, all the men he asked were from Chad and Africa. That's a long walk. Yeah. How did they make it here from Africa? Well, there's been a couple news things. I don't know if we've covered it on the live, because a lot of times it's messy, those news articles. But there's been a couple occasions that have made the news where there's people trying to cross the sea on like really small ships with way too many people on board, and they keep kicking the bucket because, you know, they're not in a proper vessel to be crossing the sea. And so they're kicking the bucket before they make it here. I know there was an instance where they showed up just outside of Florida, And then it was like all hands on deck to try and get those people out of the water, because it was just people like falling off the boat because they were so, you know, overpopulated the vessel. Here, Juicer, I'm gonna go to bed, said old man Walter. Yeah, that's what we're gonna cover. He told everybody in Vietnam that he was going to sleep, and then he just went on a ramble to the point where the White House press team had to cut his mic off, had to shut the mic off on him. We're going to be covering that next. Let's read through the chat really quick. Kevin, you're all just jealous because the voices only talk to me. Well, you know how the pronouns game works, right? Now that you told us that you hear voices, we have to pretend we hear them too to accommodate you and give you proper affirmation. Affirmation is what I'm trying to say, okay? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to mispronounce your pronouns there. The world we live in, it's rough stuff. I live in Michigan. I got to take this stuff seriously. I don't want to do 5 years in prison for calling you a toaster when you're Mr. Unicorn. Holy, the world's lost their marbles. The whole world has mental disorder. We're just winning here in America. We're doing it better. I can't find the comment now, but somebody said you can't make illegals follow the law. And that just makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Because they didn't even come here following the law. So yeah, we'll just tell them to stay in Texas and they'll just follow that law. That right on the money. I can't find the comment, but whoever said that, you were right on the money there. What's up, Brew Joe? Appreciate you being here. What's up, MU? Happy freedom. Old BR, my lib friends insist that they have razor wire around barrels. I don't really have any lib friends. There's a couple liberals that follow me on Twitter. They comment on my stuff. A lot of times it's to debate me. But I'm a master debater. Let's read through the chat really quick before we move forward. What's up, Sly Dog? Appreciate you being over here on Rumble. Oh, I'm trying to find... There was a couple comments I saw during the video. I'm trying to find them. Old BR, I've had students tell me that their career goals are to be like mom and grandma and stay home and get checks. Mom and grandma lived in a different time. You know, the economy used to be in a situation where dad could go to work, not work a whole bunch of overtime, and make enough for everybody to be okay. Pay for the house, pay for the bills, mom can stay home and raise the kids. Kids can be kids. We'd have the social media, internet stuff screwing everybody up. I don't know. We wanted more. Now look at us. Look how happy we are with all our gadgets and everybody working 90 hours a week. Kids are being indoctrinated at school. By the time they're 10, they're pretty much grown because of the stuff they see on the internet. They're grown on the outside, but they're brain dead on the inside. They can't read, write, or do math. But at least we're happy, right? I don't know. We need the Orange Eagle back. Kevin, how much would I get for entering the U.S. from Canada illegally? Well, if you just cross the border and just tell them you're from Mexico, you're pretty much guaranteed a $2,200 check. You might have to bring a child with you. It doesn't necessarily matter if the child belongs to you. But as long as you cross with the child, you'll get $2,200 a month. I don't know where they send the check. I don't know how you provide an address to them. But I'm from what I'm hearing and reading and showing on the live, I'm pretty sure you're entitled to $2,200. Just tell them you're from Mexico. Just, you know, just brush up on your Espanol. Donde es la leco y la mota? Just tell them and they'll be like, okay. They'll be all good with it. They'll let you right in. Hey, I appreciate you, MU. Ghostly, the kids yearn for the mines. That's what I kind of worry about, is we're going to start seeing things from the past. You know, as much as they tear down the statues and stuff, and we've spoke for years about how they get rid of history so we can repeat it. I think in the near future, we're going to start seeing signs of the past. Screaming Eagle, me no speaky English. You'll be good to go. You'll be good to go. And I think Spanish is a lot easier to learn than like Mandarin and stuff like that. So you just brush up on it, Kevin. I'll meet you at the border and give you a ride in the Subaru. Just look for the Subaru and the hooligan badges. You'll spot me. It'll be no big deal. Holy crap! What is going on over here on Kick? What is all of this? Thank you so much, DeRosa, for gifting out memberships over on Kick. You're awesome. Thank you so much. Kicking ass, DeRosa. Look at everybody with the screaming goats and stuff. You guys are having a party over on Kick. Let's read through the chat a little bit more before we move forward. I have somewhere I have to be in an hour, but I think we'll have plenty of time to cover everything. Just another reminder. We got quite a bit of things to, well, I don't want to say quite a bit of things, but half the stuff that we're going to cover is going to be off of YouTube. So if you are on YouTube, take advantage of that Rumble link at the top. Go ahead and come over to a platform that doesn't hate your guts. Or you could join jeffmaclive.com, or you can click the link tree and take advantage of any of the links on the link tree. All we know is YouTube sucks, and we know that for sure. Cassandra, I think they give them EBT cards to collect funds with. That makes sense. That'd probably be the easiest way to give strangers money. You know, if you were the government, here's a plastic card, we'll reload it for you every month. That sounds about right. That makes sense. I mean, the situation doesn't make sense, but what you're saying makes sense. Hair juicer. What is this saying? Is that Iowa? Iowa already relaxed child labor laws. I think 14 is the minimum age now. Wow. I mean, I was busting tables at 14, but I wasn't doing it legally. I don't know if this is a federal law, but I think in Michigan you can't work until you're 16 legally, and you got to get a work permit from the school, which as an adult, that doesn't make any sense to me. You should have to get a work permit from your parents or something like that. What does the school have a say in it? I don't understand why that's a thing. I'm going to have to investigate that. I didn't think of that till right now, because I remember going to get the work permit so I could work at KFC. I remember. So we're going to watch this short clip of this video. Like I said, it's the whole press briefing from Old Man Walter out in Vietnam. We're just going to watch the last minute or so of it. He starts getting off track. Starts checking his notes, picking his nose, picking his butt, just rambling on. And then eventually they cut the mic on him because they're like, look, we can't reel him in. He's too far gone. Just going to have to cut the line. Old Man Walter off his rocker. Let me find the time here. Holy crap, I can't read the numbers. My eyes are going. My eyeballs are going. Alright, I think right about here. You know, that's the face a toddler makes right before they shit their pants. Anyways, let's get this started.
Likes having celebrated international meetings if you don't know what you want at the meeting. If you don't have a game plan. He may have a game plan. He just hasn't shared it with me. But I tell you what, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to bed.
What did you talk about with Mr. Lee? You said you spoke to the number 2 from China who was in India today?
Yeah,
what did you talk about with him?
We talked about at the conference overall. We talked about stability. We talked about making sure that the third world, the southern hemisphere had access to change. Had access. It wasn't confrontational at all.
Thank you, everybody. This is my press conference. Thanks, everyone.
Mr. President,
Thank you.
Mr. President, are you putting U.S. strategic interests above human rights here in Vietnam? Are you putting U.S. strategic interests above human rights here in Vietnam?
And I've raised it with every person I've met with.
Mr. President, are you worried about your son being indicted, Mr. President?
So you can hear Peter Ducey screaming questions. I don't know. All of a sudden, I'm developing my own accent. On top of the accent I already got. You can hear Peter Ducey screaming questions at Old Man Walter. And then he goes to reply, and you can't hear him except for his voice ringing out into the room because they had muted the mics on him because he just wouldn't stop. He was just going on and on and on. And then he also referred to the Southern Hemisphere as a third world country or something like that. And I guess that was the big red flag that caused the press team to be like, okay, cut his mic off. He's referring to developed countries as third world countries and stuff like that. And that might be offensive to the world leaders watching this. So I guess that was when they knew to cut the line. They were like, all right, he's off the rails. Pull him down. After we cut YouTube off and we play this video for Peter Ducey, they're going to show more clips of that press briefing, but we're going to hear what's going on from Peter Ducey's point of view. He's also going to give us some more details on what happened and a summary of how it all turned out. Well, we'll be covering that a little bit later. I'll read through the chat really quick before we move forward to this next one. This next one's going to be the last one we're going to show on YouTube. It is titled Meta Developing New, More Powerful AI System. Matt Clown Show. Yeah, it is. It's a circus and they're deceiving us at the same time. We're in a sick game. We're at the worst carnival ever. It's a sick game we're playing here. We're sitting here watching the circus, except for everything they do affects all of us for the duration of our lifespan. It's no good. It's no good. Let's read through the chat. What's up, Chris? Happy freedom. Sky Bear, his third world in America. That's what he's trying to do to us. He's trying to turn us into a third world country. Matthew, the music. I know. It was like all of a sudden you entered a China buffet. That's alright. It's kind of to be expected, though. You know, you go to other countries, you would expect to hear their music. What's up, Miss Jamie? Happy freedom. Matthew, cranky senile ghoul. Yeah, and I think in the Peter Ducey video you can hear it. I'm not sure. I had to do quite a bit of digging to find that clip that I just showed you, because YouTube is trying to pull it down. And it's probably not YouTube, it's probably the news, you know, the fake news or whatever. They're pulling those clips down because they don't want people to know that Old Man Walter is pretty much gone. There's just no one upstairs. The lights are barely on. And I think that they don't want people to see that, so they're pulling it down. But there was a moment where, well, one, he says, I have to check the orders they gave me. And then he's flipping through the pages, suggesting that he's being told what to do, which is kind of weird if he's the president. And then, oh, I'm trying to think. There was something else he did. Kevin, just be happy he's not doing poop circles like the dog does before he goes. I bet Secret Service would, they probably appreciate some little dancing before he went. You know, they got to do it the old-fashioned way. Kind of like when you find a sock on the ground, you don't know if it's clean or not. You stick your beak in it, and then you give it a whiff, and you figure out, does it smell like detergent or does it smell like toes? That's what they got to do to Old Man Walter. You know, like, you got to do the diaper check. You know, you got the toddler run around. You got to snatch him up and then check the back door real quick. You got to pop that diaper out and you're like, hey, is there doo-doo in there? All right, Old Man Walter, go back on your way. Had to check just real quick. Make sure something smells atomic in here. Thought it was you, buddy. Diaper's hanging. Better fix that. I tell you, it's no good. It's no good. Kevin, I'm only 5'4". If I shave, I could pass as a kid. Are you telling me to meet you at the border, Kevin? I'll come across. We'll both walk over together. We'll split this $2,200. We'll be good to go. We'll be good to go. Matthew, I don't know a whole lot of Spanish. I only know enough to get me in trouble. I only know mucho poquito, just a little bit. Just reading through the chat really quick. What's up, Rappy? Happy freedom. Yeah, today is a day we can never forget, but we also can't talk about it on YouTube. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. Oh, and that's another thing that Peter Deuce is going to talk about, is why Old Man Walter decided to spend today in Vietnam and not here. Mr. Beansy Beans, 497 days to the 2025 presidential inauguration, where we will be welcoming home the Orange Eagle. Alright, we're going to move forward to this next one. This next one is titled, Meta Developing New, More Powerful AI System. Eventually, I feel like Facebook's not going to be around anymore. Or it'll become a government entity of some sort. One or the other, because they got a lot of data on everybody. So maybe they'll get government bailouts and stuff like that, but I don't know. Their whole meta situation to do the virtual reality didn't take off like they thought. I don't know a whole lot of people that went and got the Oculus to do VR and participate in the meta world. Same thing with advertisement. That was supposed to be a big thing for businesses, is to be able to create advertisements and business resources like shops and stuff like that in the virtual world. It's so difficult that most people aren't even doing it. So I don't know. It's just more failing systems. Maybe that's why they're bringing the AI in, is so the AI can do the thinking for them. Let's get this started.
Meta is working on a new artificial intelligence system, and it's intended to be as powerful as the most advanced model offered by OpenAI, the maker of ChatGPT. That was a report from the Wall Street Journal Sunday. It said the AI model will be more powerful than its commercial version known as Llama 2. That is Meta's open source AI language model, launched in July to compete with ChatGPT and Google's Bard. The journal reported the planned system would help other companies build services that produce sophisticated text analysis and other outputs. The Facebook owner is reportedly aiming for the new model to be ready for next year. Meta did not immediately respond to a Reuters request for comment. Businesses have been drawn to the generative AI market since the launch of ChatGPT late last year. A Bloomberg report in July said tech giant Apple is also working on similar AI offerings. It added Apple has built its own framework to create large language models and it's testing a chatbot.
Something that I think is really interesting about the AI is that it can't create anything new. And that's kind of the biggest problem that I don't want to say content creators like people you see on YouTube, but people who develop music and art and artists, we'll go with artists. Artists have a big problem with AI because they feel that it is copyright infringement. And they feel that way because in order for AI to do what it does, it has to have knowledge. It gets the knowledge from scouring the internet. It has data placed in it. But that data already exists. The developers aren't creating art and movies and songs and giving it to the AI for the AI to know. They're just searching stuff off the internet. So they're taking everybody else's music, everybody else's pictures and videos, feeding it to the AI. All the AI does is assemble that information. And it may be in ways that we haven't experienced before, taking two different things and mix them together to create something we haven't seen before. But the pieces that they use to develop whatever the AI puts out is from existing data. So you'll never really see AI create something brand new. It's just more assembling the possibility of assembling pre-existing blocks in a configuration that we may not have thought of personally before. That's really all. It's kind of like showing you a new way to do something that you already know how to do, some sort of task. I'm also seeing a lot of people try to promote jobs that can't be taken by AI. So Snook sent me a video that it ended up being too long, and that's why I didn't make it on the schedule. But there's a video where there was a workout instructor who was saying to be whatever, a fitness person, to teach other people to work out. That job cannot be replaced by AI. But I kind of feel like that's ridiculous, because back when the Kinect came out for Xbox 360, Nike made software that you could put on your Xbox, and when you would do push-ups and jumping jacks and all that stuff in front of your Kinect that was viewing you through an infrared grid that would project in your living room, the AI back then, 15 years ago, would monitor you doing push-ups and squats and all that kind of stuff, and they had dials on the screen, so you knew how far down to go, how high to jump, and this, that, and the other, and it was monitoring you while you were working out. And if you did not, say you were doing pull-ups, right, you didn't go all the way down or you didn't come all the way up, it wouldn't count it. It held you to the standard. And that these people were out here today saying, oh yeah, being a fitness instructor, AI could never take my job. I don't think people should do that, because developers are really trolls who are just really good with numbers. They'll see stuff like that and they will purposely make AI to put you out of business. Now, I do think there is jobs that AI can't take, like construction jobs and stuff. Like, you're not going to see AI building roads for us. Maybe somewhere down the line you might have machines that are programmed and run from some sort of central console that is controlled by AI or has some sort of AI system in it, but you're never going to see AI get hands-on. I think the most hands-on thing you would see AI do is soldiers, cybernetic soldiers, and I think we got time before that happens. I think they have the technology, but I wonder if there's like legal hoops that they got to jump through, because you would think that our military would be building robots and sending robots to war instead of people, if that was already a thing, but I don't know. I'm going to read through the chat really quick. That is the last video that we're going to show on YouTube, so if you are on YouTube, vacate the premises. You can use the link pinned to the top of the chat to come to the live over on Rumble, or you can click the Linktree link in the description and try any of the platforms that are listed to see which one fits you best. We are not currently online on Odyssey. There's some sort of technical issue with me connecting to them, and it's being worked out, but we're not currently live on Odyssey, but we're live everywhere else. Matt, Wii Fitness monitored you also. Yeah, I forgot about that. Wii Fitness had one too. Yep. AI is going to be everywhere, and it's going to be a pain in the ass. I can't stand when you call like FedEx. I have so many problems with FedEx. I can't stand their service. If they went out of business, I wouldn't cry. Every time they deliver something to me, they don't actually deliver it. They just walk up, slap a sticky note on my door, and then they wander off. They never ring my buzzer. They don't knock on the door. They just come and slap the sticker on the door and then walk away with my package. And then I got to wait 2-3 days. And they threaten you on the note. They're like, we're going to come back tomorrow, but you ain't here tomorrow. We're sending it back to the shipper. And it's like, okay, well, I spent the whole day sitting here on the other side of the door. You never knock on the door. You just came and put a sticky note on it. I'll punch you in the face. I get bent out of shape about that stuff, especially because like the last time it happened, I had ordered like I think I ordered this phone, and this phone was like $400 or something like that. And then they were threatening to send it back to China or wherever I had ordered it from. And I was pretty pissy about it. Well, when I called the number, press 1 for this, press 2 for this. And then you're like, I don't want to press these numbers. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Well, I'm not talking to you. Put a human being on the phone. Everybody hates that. Everybody hates it. I don't know anybody that loves talking to robots on the phone. Well, now AI is here. Now you probably won't even be able to tell if you're talking to a person on the phone or not. I don't know if you talk to ChatGPT, but it's a lot like talking to a person. And they have AI companions now, apps you can download on your phone if you're a lonely individual. And you can have an AI companion on your phone that you can sit there and talk to. And it's just like talking to a real person. I mean, it's not perfect, but it is like talking to a real person for those that are lonely in the world. And I think that's going to affect kids in a negative way too. We're going to see that in the future, probably 5 years from now or so. You'll see kids getting messed up because all their friends are just AI beings on their phone that don't actually exist in the real world. God only knows how that's going to turn out. Probably with serial killers in the future. We'll see how it goes. We're going to read through the chat really quick, and then we're going to shut YouTube off, and we're going to move forward with the rest of the day, where we will acknowledge what today is, because you can't talk about that on YouTube. And I know everybody's going to challenge me and all this stuff. I'm not going to accommodate the communist platform, okay? Get off of YouTube. I'm not accommodating it anymore. We have plenty of places where we can speak openly. I'm not going to do the song and dance for YouTube. Fuck YouTube. So that's what's on the schedule. We're going to read through the chat really quick. We have 2 more videos. And they both pretty much have to do with what day today is. Sky Bear, our roads are getting potholes and such. No money went to that. Oh, the potholes. Our roads in Michigan suck. They suck. And I haven't been everywhere in the country, so I'm not going to say they're the worst in the country. But I have heard that they are the worst in the country. We have had images with state cops sitting in the potholes, and it comes up to like their rib cage. And they're like, maybe we should do something about this. Like, yeah, maybe. Because if you run your car into a pothole, the city don't pay for nothing. They don't care. They don't care at all. You destroy your car on the road that they're supposed to be fixing, they don't care. They'll just run you through the hoops. They'll just keep putting you on hold, send you to somewhere else until you give up. They won't pay for anything. It's rough stuff. It's rough stuff out here. Destiny, kids forming relationships with AI. Yeah, isn't that weird? Like, I'm trying to think of the benefits, but the benefits seem really small in comparison to the potential negative outcome. It just, they want us to not communicate. They want all of our friends to be AI. They want us to be stuck to our devices. They want us to stay on our home. They want us to work, shop, and live in a smart city building. They want the cars to drive themselves. They want everything to be electronic so they can shut it off. They want us to be isolated in pods where we do not interact with each other. Because if they can successfully get us to that point, there will never be a day that we will ever unite again. We will just be content in our own little worlds. We will basically become digipets for the government. We'll just be bioorganic digipets for them. It's scary. Scary thought. Screaming Eagle, what happened to the trillion infrastructure? Yeah. Exactly. Well, what really makes me mad is here in Michigan, Whitmer, that's her whole thing. She's like, we're going to fix the damn roads, blah, blah, blah. Well, get to it. Get to it. How many times are you going to run around and be the leader of the state and just not fix our roads? You're better off driving in the dirt. You're better off just driving in the grass than you are on the road. Miss Jamie Smart. Oh, actually, I probably can't say that while YouTube's watching. But I think you're right, Miss Jamie. It's just a flowered up camp. That's what they're going to have us in. You hooligans crack me up. Oh, really, Matt? I don't know about that guy. What's up, Faded? Happy Freedom. Appreciate you joining us. What's up, Nana? Happy Freedom. Tom, I just blew out my front passenger side shock in a massive pothole. Michigan roads suck. That's rough. I think my I think the front right differential is going, or whatever it is on my car. Because when I'm turning, it's making this weird sound. When I try and get up to speed, like I'm getting on the freeway, it's making this weird sound, and I think it's coming from the front right wheel, and I'm worried I'm going to have to replace the axle and all that stuff. I had to do that in my Trailblazer, and it was $2,500. And then a week later, the car went into security mode, and I couldn't turn the key over in the ignition, and it was just stuck in the parking lot. And then the apartments threatened to like take legal action against me because I had a abandoned vehicle in the parking lot. I'm like, look, you think I'm not going through a hard time? You gonna threaten me with a lawsuit too? Jesus loves us. DeRosa, Senor Heavy Mac. Me amo los blancos muerte. Yeah. Just reading through the chat. If you guys are on YouTube, make your way off the platform right now. We got 2 more videos to cover. One is an announcement from President Trump talking about today and what today means to him and why we remember what today is. And then we have the final video of today's live. It's going to be Peter Ducey, and he's going to be talking about what happened over at the Vietnam press briefing and all of that stuff. He's going to give us a summary, and I think it's worth listening to. All right, hooligans, we're cutting off YouTube. If you're on YouTube, once again, take advantage of that Rumble link at the top. You click it, it'll bring you straight to the live where we are right now. If you don't want to watch on Rumble, you can click the link tree in the description. We're live on Twitch, Kick, Rumble, jeffmaclive.com, and I think we're live on Twitter also, so find the spot that suits you best. But we are cutting off YouTube. Everybody else, just hold your horses. I'm waiting for the live to catch up, and I'm watching myself do all this stuff with my hands. You could tell that I make rap music. It looks like I'm rapping. I'm over here doing all this hand stuff.